Good evening, my brothers and sisters. I am so happy to be here at the dinner table and come on in so you can feast at the dinner table this evening, tonight, my brothers and sisters. And while you're sitting down, go ahead and call some more family members and friends and tell them, look, it's dinner time. Come on in and sit at the dinner table because Brother Tony, he is going to feed us some good food for the soul. If this is your first time at the dinner table, allow me to fully introduce myself. My name is Tony M. Toomer, and I talk about relationships. I talk about relationship basically from a spiritual point of view. And when I say spiritual, I strongly believe that God is the creator of the world, and I believe God is the one that started what is called a relationship. First, God started a relationship off between him and the man Adam. Second, he had a relationship with him and the woman. Thirdly, God represented the woman to the man. And in the presence of God, the man Adam said, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I should call a woman because she came from man. That's the position that I come from. If you have another position, my brother and sister, you have what is called a free will. You can do whatever you choose to do, but if you sit at the dinner table, my position when it comes to our relationship, I strictly believe in how God created the relationship between a man and a woman, and that is in the book of Genesis. And that's what I strongly believe. So come on in, brothers. Come on in, sister. It is that time. I'm on two different platforms. I'm on the book and I'm on the tube. Those of you down the book, I may make some comments to those on the tube. You may not see their names or comment, but I will call their names and comment every now and then. And likewise, those of you on the book, I may talk to someone on the book side, meaning you may not see the comments or name, but hey, the same thing apply to you. And if you have any comments or questions at the dinner table, hey, my brother, sister, you could ask a question because it's family time. But let's be very respectful because we may have some guests that want to come in. They may smell some of this good soul food. They may want to sit down and get some of this good food for the soul. You understand? How you doing, Sister Tammy? Tammy said, hey, brother Tony and Cinderella, let's eat. All right, we are going to eat. Thank you, Sister Tammy. How you doing, Sister Flo? Harvey Morning, welcome to the dinner table. Come on in, my brothers and sisters. And remember, if you have any questions or comments at the dinner table, you can ask any question, any comment, but be very respectful now because we may have some guests and we don't want no one going away from the dinner table talking about, hey, that food, what they sell, what they got at the dinner table, we can go to another place of business and eat some of that good food for the soul. I know some more soul food places, but this is the original food for the soul as far as the relationship between a man and a woman. This is realistic because it's based on God's principle in the book of Genesis. And with that said, my brother and sister, let's look at what's on the menu for tonight. What's on the menu? What's on the menu for tonight, my brothers and sisters, is why did God create the woman? And does a man really need a woman? This is a perplexing question for some men, okay? Why did God create the woman? And does a man really need a woman? We are going to discuss this, my brother and sister, at the dinner table. Now, check this out, my brother and sister. There are some men that truly think that the presence of a woman is very welcome. I'm one of them. I really, really think that the presence of a woman is welcome because I got a good one right there, Cinderella. And however, there are some men that strongly believe that women aren't really all that important and they can live without them. Now, I'm telling you that, my brothers and sisters, there are some millions out there that really don't see the need for a woman. And what do I mean by that? There are some men, and I'm talking basic worldly men, because there are two distinct men when we're talking about this particular topic. And we're talking about the worldly men right now. There's a lot of worldly men that think a woman is, how shall I say it? that think that a woman does not have a substance. They even don't think a woman got a soul, which is a mind, a will, and emotion. A lot of men out there think that a woman is just a thing to do, or you need her just when you need her. And what a lot of worldly men think about women, and this is what I have heard. Well, a lot of you women may have heard, but this is the attitude of a lot of men. And I'm talking about some men that they really don't see the need of a woman. And this is what a lot of worldly men see in a woman. They see a woman as taking care of the house and make sure the house clean. Washing and cleaning the clothes, whatever. And what else they say? Make sure they could cook, make sure the woman could cook. She could stay at home and raise the kids. What else they say about women? Let her go do all the shopping and all that kind of stuff. And when I'm ready for some physical excitement, she need to go back there in the bedroom and we're going to do our thing and be quiet. That's the attitude of a lot of men. That's how a lot of men view some women. Again, they just view a woman as an object. There's so many men that view women as an object. And when I say an object, there are some men, and I'm specifically talking about worldly men at this point, when they look at a woman, they just see her as a sexual object. Thank you, Sister Tam, a good menu select. They just think a woman as a sexual object. And I have said it plenty of time before, my brother and sister. I'm going to say it again at the dinner table. And I'm being generous. Out of 10 men, out of 10, 7 of those men, they do not want a serious, committed, and covenant relationship with you. They could do without it. They could do you, but they could do without the relationship. They don't even want to think about, they may say they want to be serious and committed, but they don't want to say I do. Mean being in a covenant relationship, doing it God's way. And the other 3, they want to please God. And I'm talking about the Christian men. Because the ungodly men, the natural man, the worldly man outnumbers Christian men. We're outnumbered. So worldly men passing this crap on to other worldly men, and they teaching that type of doctrine to younger guys and older guys. And so they got this thing in their head. And a lot of these secular men, they think that a woman is a second-class citizen. And not only in the United States, we talk about in the Middle East. Now, if you go to the Middle East, that's another world. They got so much of a tight hold on women in their other countries. I'm just telling you. So if you're in the United States, sister, you do get a little leeway, but not that much of a leeway. That's why you all fight. You all fought for women's rights and everything. Because if you didn't, you would still be there back there in Fred Flintstone age, prehistoric age. Okay. Now, during the month of February, it was February the 18th. And now not February the 18th, it was February the 16th. The year was 1966. There was this recording studio in New York City. Again, in the year of 1966, and the date was February the 16th. There was this particular man. And you all familiar with this man. I seen this man perform many years ago when he had gotten older, but the man was still able to move. I'm talking about none other than the Godfather of Soul, James Brown from Augusta, Georgia, just about 2 hours away from where I live at right now. James Brown, he recorded this song, and it released later on that year, and it became the #1 Billboard chart song. And you all know what the name of that song was that James Brown recorded and released? Let me know. Just tell me, my brother, sister, what song am I talking about that James Brown released? And don't go jumping on the computer. I want to see that you actually know it. Don't go jumping on the computer. What song am I talking about? It got something to do with a woman. And it became #1. And you got to know it, my brother. So you may not know the year, but I guarantee you, bro, you old school brother and sister, you have heard this song. It was a very popular song by James Brown. And I ain't talking about Santa Claus going straight through the ghetto. I'm not talking about I'm Black and I'm Proud, but it is one song. It was about a woman. Let me know. Do you all know this song that I'm talking about? I want to tell you so badly. I really want to tell you so badly what this song was, so we can go ahead and get into this conversation at the dinner table. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to see who can come up with. Sister Tammy said, when a man loves a woman, that was Sister Tammy, that was Percy Sledge. That was Percy Sledge. Percy Sledge, he recorded that down at Mustard Show. That was in Alabama. Not Percy Sledge, but you're getting close to the name of the song. Do anyone know the name of the song that Brother James Brown song and released in 1966? Don't do no cheating now. Don't go to the computer and all that kind of stuff. Do you know? I'm going to count down to 10. Where I'm going to do the blast off. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The name of that song that went to number 1 was This Is a What? What is it? I gave you all a little of it. This is a what? Come on now. You all got to know this. Wake up, brothers and sisters. What the name of the song what Brother James Brown released during that time? This is a what? But it was referring to a woman. Let me go ahead and tell you all, because I don't know, y'all must, the mind must be fogged up a little night. This is a man's world. That's what Brother James Brown released in the year 1966. But what did the lyrics say? What did the main lyrics say in that song? James Brown said, this is a man's world. But this is the key part what Brother James Brown said. He said, but it will not be nothing. Nothing, not one little thing without a woman or a girl. That's what Brother James Brown said. And you know what? I believe in that song. That song, you all need to listen to that song. Go back and listen to the lyrics, what Brother James Brown said. This is a man's world. And it was, the word was created for the man, basically. But we're going to get into that a little later. But God seen something else that was needed in this world. Now, again, what's on the menu for tonight? Why did God create the woman, and does a man really need a woman? Sister Tammy said, it ain't nothing without a woman in it. Amen, sister. Now, but we're about to discuss this particular topic that's on the menu. We're going to discuss why did God create the woman. But before we discuss why did God create the woman, let's discuss this part. Does a man really need a woman? Let's discuss this briefly. Why did God create the woman? Or did he do it for the benefit of man, or did he do it for himself? Now, does a man really need a woman? There are 2 points of views. Okay, there are strictly 2 points of view. I had hinted on the worldly man and the Christian man. The worldly man versus the Christian man. You see, a worldly man, he does not know the value of a woman. He really doesn't know. Most worldly men are prideful. They see a woman as being an object, not a human being. Most worldly men, they will dog a woman out. Because they look at woman, you can get one a dime a dozen. Most worldly men do not care about the mental and emotional state of a woman. Most worldly men do not care how they talk to a woman. Most worldly men don't care how they treat a woman because they view a woman as an object. They don't view a woman as a creation from God. As a matter of fact, the woman was the last thing that God created before he rested. Do you all realize that? The woman was the last thing that God created before he rested. God created the whole world, including Adam. And right after Adam, shortly after Adam, he created the woman. If you all can recall this, and I have said it before, a pie. You can make a pie. You can have a good pie. You could put whipped cream on top of the pie, but what normally comes after the whipped cream? A cherry. So when God created the woman, you see, the whole world was like the pie. The man was like the whipped cream, but he put the woman on top, meaning it was finished. His God creation was finished. So the woman was like the cherry on top of the pie. Remember, the world was like the pie itself. The man was like the whipped cream on top of the pie. And the woman was the cherry on top of the pie. And that's when God rested. When God rested, everything was completed. So God viewed a woman as a special gift for a man. Christian men understand this. The reason why Christian men understand this is because they understand when they look all the way back in the Garden of Eden, when God brought the woman to the man. God brought that woman to the man because that man needed the woman. You understand? The man needed the woman. Have you ever wondered why God didn't bring another man to the man? The reason why God did not bring another man to the man in the Garden of Eden, because another man would not be equipped to do what a woman can do for the man. So God brought a woman to the man as a gift. He brought the woman to the man as a helpmeet. God knew that when he brought a woman to a man, she would be more of a plus to that man's life than another man. Now let's break it down to our time, okay? If a man have a good male friend that he hangs out with, listen to me very carefully. If a man have a good male friend or male friends, and he have a good woman, as long as that man is up, his best buddy and his other buddies, they are okay. Long as he up on his feet and he making the bag and doing everything well, he got good health and everything. Let that man lose his job. Let that man lose his job. And you know, if a man lose his job and he got his boys, even his best boy, they're not gonna hardly help him out. You know what they'll normally do? They will listen to the man. Let's say the man lost his job, and his guy friend that have a job, they will listen to what he have to say, but more than likely, they're not gonna say, "Here, man, I can help you out." They ain't no hardly say that. You know what they'll say? "Dog, man, I'm sorry that happened to you." What happened? Man, you good, man. You good at what you do. You could always go out there and find something else because you got it going on. Don't let that one position or that mishap stop you And this is a thing what a lot of guys would tell this man that have just lost his job or whatever. They would say, if you need anything, call me. Now the man let's say it's you, brother. You just told your boy that you lost your job. So that means that if you lost your job, you're gonna need some income, right? You're gonna need some income because those bills and stuff still gonna keep coming. The bills are not gonna stop. That some of them could help you, but they're not gonna hardly do it. Because you see, the mentality of worldly men is like you need to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. That's what they would think. And then when they say you call me when you need me, they don't want you to call them, brother. Listen to me. Your guy friend don't want you to call them while you down. They don't want you to do it. They want you to fend the best way you can. Now, if you have a good woman and you lose your job, she's gonna immediately think about what can I do to sustain our home. She may have a job or whatever, but what she's gonna do, she's going to think about we could move some things around while you're trying to find something there, brother. Because if you're a godly man, you know the importance of providing and protecting your family. So you're not a lazy man. I'm talking to you, Christian brother. You're not a lazy man. So you're going to try your best to reestablish yourself. You're going to do what it takes to do it, even if you have to take some form of employment that don't pay you as much as you used to, but you're going to do something. But that woman, she's going to step in and try to tide over until you get reestablished back on your feet. That's what a good woman would do, your wife. And then when the Lord calls you to get restored, brother, this is what your friend going to do. Now they want to talk to you again. Now they want to hang back with you. But you see, you keep this in your mind, you know that those guys don't have your back. They don't have your back. Your best boy is not going to hardly have your back. Although other guys, they're not going to have your back. Let's say you got a good job or whatever, brother. So your job and everything is okay. Let's say you get real sick. You get real sick. Your boys, they may come visit you. They may come and sit and visit you and stuff, brother, but they're not going to be there to help you get up. If you have a good woman, what more than likely a good woman going to do is if you mess yourself up in your clothes, and you know what I'm talking about, if you do the number 2 in your clothes, do you think your best boy, brother, or your boys going to clean your behind? They're not going to do it. They're not going to clean your behind. But if you have a good woman, even though your behind going to be stinking, she will clean your stinking behind. You understand? A good woman would do that. And then when your health get restored, here come your best boy and your boys again because you feel better. But you need to keep that in mind. If you lost your job, they abandoned you. You got help, they came to see you or they called, but they ain't finna clean your behind. Let's say you get arrested wrongfully. You get arrested wrongfully because a lot of that stuff happens. You get arrested wrongfully, they take you to jail. Okay? When you make that phone call to your boy, they may take that first call and they want to listen to what you have done. And the same thing, they're going to want to listen to everything you said because you know why? So when they drinking with the other boy, they're going to say, what happened to you while you're in the poker? None of your guy friend going to come down to the poker to see you. They're not going to do it. And they may say, oh, man, if you need anything, just let me know. You call them. You know how if you're in jail and when you use those phone, they'll call the number for you, and they will have to get permission from the receiver to accept the call. They ain't gonna accept your call. Now that good woman, even though you got in there wrong, she know she gonna do whatever she can do to get you out. Your boys, they ain't no hardly do it. That good woman, she's gonna come down there and put money on the book for you. Your boys ain't gonna do it. So when they clear you for all charges, brother, when you get, then they want to hang back out with you. They're gonna ask you, how was it in the pokey? But they was not there for you. So I gave you some examples, my brothers, of the value of a good woman. A good woman is really needed in your life. Thank you, Sister Flo. A good woman is needed in your life. A good woman will stick with you than those guys. When I say a good woman, this is specifically what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a Christian, virtuous woman. That's the type of woman. I'm not talking about a street woman. I'm talking about a Christian, virtuous woman. Proverbs 31 type of woman. That's what I'm talking about. So, does a man really need a woman? A Christian man see the value of a good woman. A worldly man does not. A worldly man see a woman, and then he see another woman, and then he see another woman. A worldly man is more focused on what he can get out of the woman, not how the woman is in the heart. A Christian man think more about the woman's heart than her outside, whatever she got going on the outside. So that's the two different viewpoints, how a Christian man look at a woman and a worldly man. You see, a Christian man focus on what's on the inside of the woman herself. Because even if a Christian man marry a woman that happens to be sprinkled with outside beauty, he knows that as time go on, the beauty gonna fade away, but not the beauty of the heart. Worldly men, if they so wrapped up in how a woman look and how she's shaped, once you get a deficiency, they're gonna look for somebody to take your place. And some of you sisters, let me tell you this, some of you sisters, you all remember the song by the Commodores called Brick House, right? You remember the song by the Commodore, Lionel Richie and the Commodore? You remember the song called Brick House? 36, 34, 36, what a winning hand. That's how some worldly men view women. They want the brick house. And what happened to the brick house? As the woman age, the house is not going to be a brick house no more. It's going to turn to a wooden house. And when she get real old, it's going to turn to a straw house. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about as the woman age, her body's going to change. And that's when these guys, they could be up in age, they're going to start looking at those young tenderonis, Bobby Brown, right? They're going to start looking at the young tenderonis. Because a lot of older men, let me tell you this, a lot of older men, they concentrate on women that's like 25 and below. Believe it or not, and I'm not walking on air, they talking about women 25 and below. Because a lot of worldly men, they view women over 25 as you have hit the wall. Have you, sister, ever heard of that term before? You have hit the wall? Most of the time, these older guys, when you get about 25, they consider you to have hit the wall. And that's real. That's why they look at younger women. A lot of them look at younger women because of what appear to be the youthfulness. But you see, the younger women, compared to the women that seasoned women, you see, seasoned women have wisdom. The Christian one, they have wisdom, they have knowledge, they have understanding, and they have discernment. They have what younger women do not have: experience. What is it like for an older man to chase a younger woman that's probably the age of his children? It's just like a dog chasing a car. When a dog chases a car and run after the car barking, ruff, 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 What the dog gonna do when the car stop? Bite the tire? That's all. That's the only thing a dog can do when the car stop. Bite the tire, and you ain't gonna do nothing to the tire. That's how it is when a lot of these older guys that pants be all up here, and you all know what I'm talking about. It seems like some older guys, not all, because some older guys they got their stuff together, but a lot of older guys, if you notice, they start pulling their pants up here, and they start talking about what they used to do a long time ago and what they still could do, knowing they can't still do a lot of that stuff, but they just be running their mouths and everything. Then eventually they are the older women get tired of them because the older women know they playing games. Because you see, the older women, they season. So that if an older guy say, "Do you need a friend?" Those older women say, "No, I don't need no friend," because they know what those guys about. So now these older guys, they want to try to trip up. Look, so the folks that pants up to their chest. You all know what I'm talking about. You have seen that before. But anyway, these men, they chasing after these younger women because a lot of them that are not seasoned, and they think that they can do a whole bunch of manipulation to these younger women. But there's some younger women that got some skills too. And you see a lot of those younger women that mess with these older guys, they about how deep that man pocket. So a lot of the older men, you think that a lot of these younger women like you for you. No, that's where does the term sugar daddy come from? When these young brick houses, these older men that got these real young brick houses, they thinking about what's in your pocket. Too many of those younger women aren't gonna hang out with older guys unless they got something going on. They got to have something going on. Cause a lot of these younger girls, not all, they looking, can you get their nails done? Can you get their hair done? Can you pay my bills and all that kind of stuff? A lot of those younger girls, they looking for it. And then when the younger girls come around, they will let you, you looking for the younger girl to do more than pat you on the head. And you see a lot of time when these older guys be doing this stuff for these younger women, paying the car note and stuff, they got a guy around their age driving the car. The man paying the woman's rent or mortgage, and another man around the girl's age is living in there. It's so backwards. And that's how a lot of worldly men think. But a Christian man, he look at a woman that got experience. First, when I say experience, he's looking for a woman that got Jesus living in her. That's the first requirement for a godly man when it comes to a woman. Does Christ live in that woman's life? That's what that man looking for. Does Christ live in that woman's life? And if Christ live in that woman's life, I got something. I got a woman that got wisdom. I have a woman that got knowledge, understanding, discernment, and overall, she could use all that because she got experience. You cannot replace experience, brothers. Those of you that listen to me, not the word of me, but your brother, you cannot replace experience. A lot of Christian women, brother, they're not gonna carry you through a lot of these stupid head games. They're not going to have you jumping through hoops with the fire on it to see, can you jump through a hoop like you at the circus and you're aligned, and they want to see, can you do it? Or they're not going to take you down to a theater and they want you to get on stage and act like you Hamlet or say stuff like to be or not to be while they sit in the audience clapping their hands. A lot of women, older women, they don't want that. A lot of women, they don't want the foolishness. When I say older, I ain't talking about can't hardly do nothing. I'm talking about what seasoned women. When I say older women, I'm talking about seasoned women. That's what I'm talking about. You understand? So there's a vast difference between worldly men when it comes to a woman and spiritual man. By the way, a lot of worldly men, they place a low value on a woman. Like I said earlier, a lot of these guys, worldly men, they view the woman as an object. And when the first object is sex, most worldly men, they just look at They will look at you sisters, and the first thing that come to their mind is, how can I get her on her back? How can I get on her back? What lies can I tell to get her on her back? I hope she don't see where I'm coming from. I'm trying to get on her. I'm trying to get her on her back, but I hope that I got a smooth talk game so she can't really see where I'm going with this. That's how a lot of worry me. A lot of worry me. You want to go out to eat? Where you want to go eat? You want to go out to eat? Let's go to Applebee's. And when you go to Applebee's, they don't want you looking all over the menu. They want you to look at the specials, the 2-for-1. That's what they want you to do. They ain't about to hard to take you to Ruth Chris. Now, if they take you to Ruth Chris, they're expecting for you to get on your back right after Ruth Chris. Not only right after Ruth Chris, if they take you to Applebee's, they expecting for you to get on your back. If they meet you at Starbucks, they ready for you to get on your back. If they take you to the park, they ready for you to get on your back. That's how a lot of worldly men are. They will tell you what they think you want to hear. Some of them will spend some money on you. But let me tell you something, sister. Most men, they're not spending money on you because they like you. You got to understand that. Remember I said out of 10 men, and I were being generous, out of 10 men, 7 of them don't want a long-term relationship with you as far as saying I do. But there are some men that will spend money on you, but they want something out of it. You see, a lot of these guys that spending money on you, that's an investment to them, so they want something out of it. And you all know what they want out of it. Let's be real. They want something out of it. Whereas a Christian man, a good Christian man that trying to please God, he's trying to understand you, sister. He wants to see how do you fit in God's plan for his life. So Christian men, they see the need. You see, worldly men, they forgot that instead of looking at a woman as an object, they forgot that they came into this world by the aid of a woman. In order for any man to come into this world, there was a woman. There was a woman that carried the man for a period of time. So that in itself tells a man that women are needed. And then there are some women that got some smarts about them. There are some women that have invented things. Did you all see that movie about? It was about one of the it was about you know how they send the Apollo and stuff to the moon. There were 3 black women that helped get one of those Apollos back into Earth atmosphere. Called Taraji B. Henson, she played one of the characters. It was 3 black women. And they were good at mathematics. God gifted them women. So God gives women to do certain things. God gifts women, when you look in the Bible, God gifted women to do things. You got Sarah, God gifted Sarah. Rebecca, God gifted Rebecca. Rachel, God gifted Rachel. Ruth, God gifted Ruth. Esther, God gifted Esther. Deborah, God gifted Deborah. Mary, the mother of Jesus, God gifted Mary. God gift women, which goes to now besides God having fellowship with the man and the woman, God had a purpose, and God seen that it was necessary and a must that a woman was needed in a man's life. As it is written in the book of Genesis 1:29, And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply. But let me go back a little further. Why did God create the woman? As it is written in 1 Corinthians 11:9, it said, and man was not made for woman, but woman was made for man. You see, God is doing the talking through Paul when he wrote to the Corinthians. God instructed Paul through his spirit to write, and man was not made for woman. You see, the man was created to have fellowship with God. Then it goes to, and the woman was made for the man. Then it goes on to say, and God said, as it is written in the book of Genesis 18, chapter 2, 18, chapter 2, 18, chapter 2, 18, and said, and the Lord said, it is not good for that the man should be alone. I will make for him a helpmeet for him. So any man that say that a woman is not necessary, that man is putting his wisdom against the wisdom of God. God said it's not good that the man should be alone. Men say, worldly men, we don't need a woman. God said it's not good for man to be alone. Man said we don't need him. We just need him for certain things. God said it's not good for man to be alone. So I will make him a helpmeet. So every man that have a problem with a woman and look at a woman as an object, take that woman away out the equation. What would the man do? What would he do? If there was no woman in the world, there would be no men in the world. Adam is the only man that came into the world without a woman. Adam is the only man that came into this world without a woman. Because God created Adam out of the dust of the ground. And he blew into him his nostril, and he became a living soul. Every man that came from after Adam came through the womb of a woman. So any man that cannot understand that concept, he is a fool. In all caps, FOOL. He's a worldly thinking man that doesn't believe in God. Now, again, besides having fellowship and the man and the woman worshiping God together collectively, and God preferred for a man and woman to, if they're in a relationship, to be serious, committed in a covenant relationship. So God wanted to have fellowship with a man and woman like he wanted to have fellowship with Adam and Eve before they fell. God still wants it today between a man and woman that's in a covenant relationship. God had a purpose, an original purpose for a man and a woman. When we look at the book of Genesis 1:28, again, the book Genesis 1:28, Genesis 1:20, and it said, and God blessed them. And God said unto them, now God is talking to Adam and Eve. This is what God said. He said, be fruitful. A man and a man can't be fruitful. Then God said, and multiply. A man and a man, or a woman and a woman can't multiply and replenish the earth. It takes a man and a woman to produce another human. Two men cannot produce a human. Two women cannot produce a human. According to God's word, it took a male and a female. There's no way possible. I know some people don't say that. There's no way possible that a child can come into this world without the sperm of a man or seed of a man and the egg from a woman. No way possible. In order for people to clone another person, what they talking about cloning these days, in order to clone, you got to get the clone from somebody. So in order to clone somebody, somebody has to exist. So in order for someone to have to exist, it has to have an origin. So in order to have an origin, it took a man and a woman to come together as one to produce mankind. Thank you, Sister Tammy, and thank you, Sister Flo. It took a man and woman to come together to have one kind. So it said, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. Only a man and a woman could do this. There are no exceptions about it. And subdue it. Only a man and a woman can do these things together. And have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowls of the air, that birds, and over every living thing that move upon the earth. So these commandments, God was talking directly to a man, that man being Adam, and he was talking to a woman, that woman being Eve. He talked to them collectively together. That's why it goes back. God said, I will make him a helpmeet. What is a helpmeet? Someone that comes along and walk right by you. So when God brings a woman into a man's life, he never brings a woman into a man's life for her to lead the relationship. He never brings a woman to a man's life so she could walk behind him as a follower. When God brings a woman to the man, he brings that woman in as a partner in a relationship. Because God would like for that man and woman to do something together to bring glory to him. And by bringing glory to God, he is going to meet the secular needs of a man and a woman collectively together. Now, question, can the man live without the woman? Let's answer that question. Can a man actually live without a woman? And let's ask this question. Can a woman live without a man? Because there are some women out there that think they don't need a man. Let's see God's thought on this question. The question again, can the man live without the woman? And here go the other part of it. And can the woman live without the man? Let's listen to God's thoughts on this. And what are God's thoughts on this question? Let's go to God's word and let God answer the question. And this is what God said in 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 11 through 12. That's 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 11 through 12. Again, 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 11 through 11. It states clearly, nevertheless, in the Lord, the woman is not independent of the man, nor is the man independent of the woman. For as the woman came from the man, that's when Eve came from the side of Adam, so also the man is born of woman. So after the woman came out of Adam, remember the rib story, and everybody that came after that came through the woman. That's what this scripture means. Nevertheless, in the Lord, the woman is not independent of the man. Let's stop right there. There are a lot of women that goes around talking about, I'm a strong, independent woman. She's a 4th of the July woman. Do any of you all know any 4th of July women that go around boasting, I'm a strong, independent woman. I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need no man to do nothing for me. And then the other part, neither is the man independent of the woman. I don't need no woman. I could take care of myself. So a woman that goes around claiming that she's independent, and a man that goes around thinking that he's independent, this is from the pits of hell. This is the devil's doctrine. Anytime, brother, since you hear a woman say, I'm a strong, independent woman, God contradict the woman. God's words say, the woman is not independent of the man. So she's contradicting God, which means she's a liar. God is the truth. And then on the other part, it says, nor is the man independent of the woman. Any man that goes around and says he's independent, he don't need no woman, he is trying to make God a liar, but we know God is true. So therefore, that man is a liar. For as the woman came from the man, according to God's word, also the man is born of the woman. but everything comes from God. So the answer is a woman is not independent of the man. And the man is not independent of the woman. God just answered the question. So when we look at the menu again, why did God create the woman? And does a man really need the woman? The first part of it, why did God create the woman? Let me go back to this. Why did God? It said in 1 Corinthians 11:9, again, 1 Corinthians 11:9, 1 Corinthians 11:9, it said, and God and the man was not made for woman. So any woman that going around here thinking that she's God, that she's the prize, because there's a lot of women that go around here thinking that they the prize. And also there's a lot of men that think they the prize. Now, Jesus is the prize. So it say that, and man was not made for woman. A man was not made for a woman. God said, I'm not saying, I'm just the news reporter from station God. God said through Paul, and man was not made for woman. Okay, the man was not made for the woman. So what was man made for? He was made in the like and image of God, like the woman. But the man was created to have fellowship with the woman before the woman got here. You understand? Now, it said, but anytime you see but after a statement or however, that means it's a contrast that whatever was said before is going to be the opposite of. So it said, but the woman was made for the man. Why was the woman made for the man? Because when we go back to Genesis 2:18, it said that it's not good that the man should be alone. So God is answering this question. First, he said that the man was not made for the woman, but the woman was made for the man. Then God go back early and say in Genesis 2:18, and the Lord said it's not good that the man should be alone. I will make for him a help meet for him. So God on word is answering all our questions for this evening at the dinner table. So why did God create the woman? The Bible clearly say the woman was made for the man. That's what God word said. The woman was made, but not for any man. That's the clincher, not for any man. She was made for a specific man. Not every man, but a specific man. Because it don't say the woman was made for men. Because men is plural. It's a man, which is singular. So she was made for one particular type of man. And what type of man it did? It's one of God's son, a Christian. A Christian is a follower of Christ. So like I always say, God does not put our relationships together. He does not. He never did. God brings the right man and the right woman together. He doesn't bring the perfect man and the perfect woman together. He did that one time when he brought Adam and Eve together, but they messed it up. So now, after Adam and Eve, God did not bring the perfect specimen man or the perfect specimen woman. He bring a woman and man that got flaws, that got shortcomings. But they right for each other because God wants them to carry out a purpose for him. Although a lot of the relationships in the Bible, God had a purpose for them men and women getting together because what's going to happen? Christ was coming. Out of most of the couples that you see, besides Samson and Delilah, God put a man and woman together, an imperfect man and an imperfect woman together called they was coming together. And down the road, God seen that he was going to use those unions to bring Christ into the world. So today, when God bring a man and woman together, he bringing them together for a purpose. He's not putting y'all together, brother and sister, for your purpose. He putting you together for his purpose and his glory. So any man and woman God bring together is deeper than I love you and you love me. It's God's purpose, what he had in his mind in eternity before you was created, brother, and you was created, sister. Brother, you could have been through some bad relationships. Sister, you could have been through some bad relationships. You know why? Because you tried to do it your way, like I used to try to do it my way. But when you do it God's way, God, brother, he already had the right woman for you. But you know what you did, brother? You ignored the GPS. Like I used to ignore the GPS. Some of you sisters, you know why the right man haven't found you? Because you are ignoring the GPS. You want to get to your destination your way. The GPS is right there, brother. The GPS is that right there, sister. What is the GPS? God's word. If you go by God's word, you will get to your destination quicker. For example, I have never been to California. I have been, the farthest west I have gone was to Vegas. That's the farthest west I have gone. I have an idea how to get to California, just head west. I got an idea, but if I went by my idea without a map, but I went by my own thinking, I can get to California, but I'm going to make some unnecessary turns going to California. You understand? But with the proper GPS system, that could save me time. Because with the proper GPS system, it could say the road closed. You got police detective here, all that kind of stuff. Detour. That's what GPSs do, right? And that's what the Bible do, my brother and sister. You all remember in the olden days when you want to travel, you use that paper map. What did you have to do? You had to you start off and then you pull off the side of the road and you say, okay, we here right now. What we need to go here and turn here. You don't have to really do that these days because we have a GPS system, right? So you driving. And the GPS saying turn left, turn right. How you doing, pointless animal? Welcome to the dental table. Say, turn left, turn right. That's what the GPS doing. Because what the GPS doing is saving time. So we need, brother, and we need, sister, the GPS system. And who got the ultimate GPS? Jesus got the ultimate GPS. And the GPS is God's word, the Bible. So God created the woman for a man, the right man. So, brother, if you're confused, God created the woman because he said that it's not good for man to be alone. I'm just telling you what I read from God's word. It said it's not good for man to be alone. And that's specifically talking about the Christian men that have a desire for a woman. And it also talk about a woman that have a desire for a man, the right man and the right woman, not a perfect man and a perfect woman. You follow what I'm saying, brothers? You follow what I'm saying, sisters? And does a man really need a woman? Yes, he does. He needed his mama to get here. Every man that was born needed a mother. And what is a mother? A mother is a woman. Without a mother, you wouldn't be here. Whatever your mama did, you here listening to me. Without you had a daddy now, but your daddy had to plant a seed in your mama or your mother, okay? Your mother. So your father had to plant a seed in your mother. And your mother had to carry you. Your daddy did not carry you. Your daddy planted you in fertile soil. And when your daddy planted you in fertile soil, your mother carried you until it was time to deliver you. So without your father and without your mother, you came through your mother's womb unless you came another way through a cesarean section. You know what I'm talking about. Other than that, the bottom line, a woman carried you. There's no other way, brother, you could be here without a woman because you need the egg. You need the egg. You need that sperm from your father, but you need that egg. Don't you know, my brother, that listen to me, you are one of a kind. When your father got to your mother, there was plenty of seeds that was raising to get to your mother's egg, to her ovary section. There was a whole bunch of Olympic swimmers when your father got with your mother. But you want the gold, brother. You know how you want to go? Because you here listening to me. You want the gold medal. And some of you sisters, you want the gold medal. That's how you got here. It was just like you all have seen the Olympics before, right? During the swim contest. You all know how they get ready and they get set and they go off and they jump in the water and go, right? That's what happened. When your father got with you, when your father got with your mother, it was get ready, set, go. And all the Olympic swimmers jumped into the water, and you was one of the Olympian brothers and sisters, but you did everything you had to do, and you want the gold. You didn't win the silver. You didn't win the bronze. You want the gold because you here. And for you to get here, you had a mother. So women are important. You could not do nothing without a woman. Most of you that went to school, you were taught by what? You were taught more women that teach than men as far as education. Most of you that went to school, got your degrees or whatever, or if you went to school, more than likely you ran into more females than men. Women are needed, brothers. Women are needed. Men are needed, sister. We can't do without the other. You understand? So the bottom line, brother, if you're a Christian man, you understand exactly where I'm coming from. Worldly men, they will never understand. Because they look at a woman as an object. Christian men do not look at a woman as an object. Christian men look at a woman as she's a creation from God. Now, my brother and sister, if you have any questions, you can put it in the comment section. What you could do is say, wait, and ask your question. Or you can make a comment. Just put the word wait, and I will wait to address it. If you don't have no questions or comments, we're about to part. And before we part, I would like to say, brother and sister, thank you so much for being a part of the dinner table. Thank you for coming to have this good meal with me. I hope that you enjoyed the meal. What you can do, once you put it in the carry-out plate, you can put it in the refrigerator, but I encourage you to share with some more family members and friends and invite other people to the dinner table, okay? It's free. It is free, my brother. It is free, my sister. Thank you, Sister Sandra Van. Welcome to the dinner table. It is free. So my brother and sister, always remember, when it comes to the dinner table, I'm normally here Sunday through Thursday, normally between 7:30 and 8 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, normally between 7:30 and 8. I normally just pop in without a warning. I just pop in. If I don't show up on Sunday through Thursday, that means that something really derailed me. But I'd be so happy, brother and sister. This is one of the best part of my day without me worship, besides me following the Lord throughout the day and spending time with my wife, family, and friend. This, and you, my family too, brothers and sisters. I enjoy this moment. I really do. So remember this, my brother and sister. God did create the woman, and he had a purpose for creating the woman, and man does need a woman. Remember that, believe that, say la vie. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. Peace out.